Hello everyone. Hola a todos. Salam alaikum. Привет. Dang, now I'm getting confused. Don't worry, we got this. Do you feel like you're constantly switching gears between languages? 1 second you're saying go to sleep, and the next minute you're saying a dormir. If you're a single parent who is raising a bilingual kid, or you're a parent who wants to start raising your kid bilingually, this video is for you. Hablemos. Before we get into tips, advice, and sharing my experience with you in raising my son bilingually, I wanted to get a common myth out of the way. Children are completely capable of learning 2 languages simultaneously. In fact, they actually have an advantage the younger that you're able to teach them, because their brains are like sponges and they are constantly absorbing information. If you are able to start teaching them 2 languages from the start, like let's say infancy to the very early stages of being a toddler, they have a clean slate when it comes to their language learning. If you are someone like me who learned a second language in adulthood, then you will understand this. Your first language can really interfere with you learning and developing your skills in the second language when you wait until adulthood. It doesn't mean you can't do it, but it is more challenging. Study after study shows that children can be taught 2 different languages simultaneously, and it does not confuse them. There is some split information in regards to if it causes any kind of delays in their speech. However, the conclusion is that even if it does cause a temporary delay, it is just that it is temporary, and the long-term effects of being bilingual far outweigh any potential or temporary delays in speech. As I was saying before, babies' brains are designed to absorb everything in their environment, everything they see, and yes, everything they hear. My son has been hearing both English and Spanish since the day that he was born. But if your child is older, don't worry or stress about it, just start teaching them. You can still introduce a second language to them by playing interactive games, listening to music, reading, just regular everyday conversations. For example, when I am playing with my son, I incorporate both languages into our game. Throw me the ball. Tírame la pelota. You can also visit your local library or scroll through Amazon to find out what kind of resources are available to you when it comes to teaching your child 2 different languages simultaneously. The biggest resources that I would try to focus on personally, other than yourself of course, is playing interactive games like flashcards, for example, and reading. But even if you don't have those resources readily available to you, maybe you're on a very tight budget and Amazon is expensive, maybe you live in a rural area and going to a local library is not really a thing for you, or that's not available, it doesn't mean that you can't still get creative with your bilingual teaching. Put a sock over your hand and now you've got a bilingual puppet. Consistency really is key, especially if you're the only parent reinforcing it or the one doing the majority of the work. Even when I can't directly interact with my son, I still try to talk to him and describe the things that I am doing. I'm washing the dishes. Estoy lavando los trastes. In the very early baby toddler stage, remember that your child is able to learn and absorb and understand more than they're able to produce. So even if they are 18 months old, 15 months old, whatever, talk to your pediatrician, even if they are at an age where they can speak but they're not doing that, it doesn't mean that they aren't understanding what they're hearing. I hope that makes sense what I'm saying. Again, if you're someone like me who learned a second language as an adult, you will resonate with this. Understanding comes first, and then your ability to produce it comes after. Books, songs, and occasional TV. Please, nobody come for me. I'm not telling anybody to raise tablet babies. It's all about moderation. These are all forms of fun education for your child. For my son, I do have bilingual books. I have found them both at the library, and this one was purchased on Amazon. And then I also have books that are only in English and books that are only in Spanish. This way he gets the full variety, he stays entertained, we're not reading the same book over and over again. Well, actually, like, we kind of are, but that's because he wants to. Another example of how I've personally incorporated bilingualism and teaching both target languages to my son, we just got done with Christmas, and all throughout the Christmas season, there are a lot of really fun and repetitive songs in both English and Spanish that kids really are entertained by, that they like to listen to, and that they can sing along with if they're at the point where they're really speaking. What I have found is that it's really just about taking advantage of any opportunity and all of the resources that you have around you to incorporate both languages and to make sure that your child is exposed to both languages. And you don't have to always do everything simultaneously. You can dedicate different times of the day to different language learning if you want. Doing it simultaneously all the time really can wear you out. So for example, you could have morning time be language Y, and then you could have the afternoon be language X, and then later in the evening time, it's a dormir because I'm cansada. Just play with it. Just so you know, that last take took me like 6 times to get it right because I am not good at code switching. I can do English or Spanish, I cannot do Spanglish. I don't know why it's so hard. It's going to be hard. It is hard. You're a single parent and you're already juggling 1,000,001 things, and now you got this extra thing on top of it, right? Adding bilingualism is not something that should only be on your shoulders. But remember, you are giving your child a lifelong gift. The amount of advantage and opportunity that you're providing to your child is enormous. Have you ever heard someone say that they regret being raised bilingual? If anything, it's actually the opposite, right? If anything, you hear people say they wish that they had been raised bilingual. All in all, remember that you are giving your child a skill from the start that it takes so many people years to obtain later on. Your effort is worth it. That's how I'm raising my 15-month-old son to be bilingual, but I would love to hear from you and your advice and your stories as well. Drop it down in the comment section. Or you can always slide into my DMs on Instagram. Come say hi to me, share your experiences if you want. Before you do any of that, make sure you like this video. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button so that you can hang out with me more. And until next time, hasta luego.